What's going on, my friend?
Good morning. Good morning. Not too much, I guess. A normal Wednesday morning over here. Just went for a swim and then went for a run, and now I'm here.
I could tell your skin tone was just a little bit. Your hue is looking very nice today. So my hue is very weak. I just got a bunch of pictures taken where I saw them, and I was so pasty, man. I need my tan back. I'm really feeling bad about myself.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I have a bit of a rosy glow from being overheated out running. Both of my sessions today were threshold sessions, which is, never a good time. So did some threshold in the pool and then did some threshold running. So yeah, I definitely put in a little bit of work, and then I'll go for a little ride this afternoon.
I've just started pumping up my tires again with those little things on them. And I haven't figured it out yet for the season, Tom. My tires are still flat. I went like the first round to try to pump them up from the year before because they're sealed with air with they're tubeless. And so like if you don't pump them up like every few days, somehow they unseal. So it's a big mess here. So I had to go back from riding my bike to running the other day. So I'm moving towards summer activities.
Yeah, something's not right there because my gravel bike is tubeless also, and I don't have to like I always it's just a habit. I always check my tire pressure before I go out for a ride. But like I went for a ride yesterday, and the last time I had ridden before that was like Sunday. And I did not have to add any air to the tires. I checked the pressure and they were still fine. So
Right.
like it's not just a normal thing, like there's a problem.
Okay.
Something's not right. And if anything, I would like because the bike shop set it up for you, right? I would take it back to the bike shop and be like, hey guys, like I don't know what you're doing, but like they shouldn't go flat overnight, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it had been over the winter, but still they did go flat, you know.
yeah, I mean they shouldn't go like flat.
Yeah.
Not
I
for
don't know.
tubeless.
Something is weird about it. So I'm going to get into it. Tom, this is an exciting day for me here on Not the Smartest Guys because you agreed to do bracketology with me.
That's right. That's right. I did. And I knew you were excited for it. It's one of those things like I was kind of, when you first brought it up, I was sort of indifferent. But you were so excited about it that I was like, I don't have it in me. I don't have anything against it. And I definitely don't have it in me to crush your dreams of doing brackets here on Not the Smartest Guys. I decided to go with it, and then you came up with these brackets and all the things that we're going to talk about within the brackets and seeding them and like put in all the work. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm here for it.
Okay, so I'm going to try to add even in the top here. It's an Instagram, let's say an Instagram link if anybody wants to see what we got going on here. But I got a picture of our bracket. So this is basically business growth bracket. And we have two brackets. It goes 1 through 8 or whatever it is, but we're going to get into this and just talk about like things that can help grow your business. And we're going to be like, which one wins, which one doesn't. That's it. So if people feel that they want to jump in and talk about, they think something or they want to comment somewhere, like, hey, I love direct mail. Okay, so that's how we're going to go about it, Tom. We got to keep track a little bit, and then we still got Tom's thumbs, we still got PSAs, and we got all these things going on. So let's see here. What's up,
Well,
Jimmy?
I would just say too that for the folks who are not joining us on Clubhouse, right, which is the only place they can actually click that link. If you search "Not the Smartest Guys" on Instagram, you'll be able to find the bracket that Dom's talking about that we're going to reference throughout the episode. So definitely check that out. Go to "Not the Smartest Guys." I think our handle is literally at "Not the Smartest Guys in the Room," all one word on Instagram. So is that right, Dom? Am I right about that?
Yeah, that's what we got. Not the smartest guys in the room. Yep, that's what it says.
Yeah. Okay. So just yeah, if you just search "not the smartest guys in the room" on Instagram, you'll find that bracket. It was, I think, it was the most recent post. Should be at the top of the feed there on the page. So go ahead and go there, click it, so that you can follow along. Come up with your own ideas. And hey, if you wanna play, if you want to join in, hop on Clubhouse and you can weigh in on any. You can.
Works for me. Comment, share your thoughts, whatever. Maybe you sway us. Okay, Tom, we're going a number 1 versus a number 8 seed right off the bat. We got referrals versus direct mail. Tom, do you have a favorite? Now, referrals is our number 1 seed. Direct mail is a number 8 seed. So, are we having an upset here, or what do you think?
I mean, I don't think there's any upset, right? I mean, what maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe in like 1971, direct mail was maybe maybe really hitting. It was real hot. I don't know. Maybe even earlier than that. I have no idea. But maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe in the heyday of the Sears catalog, or something like that, back when you could order a house from the Sears catalog, like, back in those days, maybe direct mail would have taken this one or pulled an upset, but I don't think there's any competition here, right? I think this is a blowout. I think referrals absolutely mops the floor with direct mail, and moves on to the next round.
Okay, I think I would have to agree with you. I'm seeing some more people these days. Like I do have some business people that send me like some cards and things like that via mail, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool that they put my picture on it. My buddy Ray Rita, thank you. Some other people sending me cards once in a while. I'm like, I might try that. So I like it. But as far as I get a lot more referrals, and I think like positive word of mouth from a referral is much better. So, Tom, are we giving it to the number 1 seed here?
Oh yeah. Number one seed for sure is going on to the next round.
Okay, we got number 1 seed referrals. Moving on. Okay, we'll get down to the bottom of the bracket. This is a 4 versus 5. It's cold calling versus hard closes, Tom. So I've knocked on a lot of doors in my life. That would be cold calling. Hard close would be I can tell you what your wife's gonna say. She's gonna say no. So where does that leave us? So, Tom, hard closes or cold calling? What do you think is more valuable?
Well, so correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I understand this correctly, like hard close is like a high pressure sales, right? Like trying to close them on the first, like on the call, like within like 20 minutes or something like that, like trying to just go straight for the close, right? Like high pressure. You need this now. I need an answer from you right away. We're not getting off this call until you say yes or no. Like that's what we're talking about, right? With a hard close. Am I
Yeah,
right
it
there?
could be timeshare, could be the people at Walmart when you're walking through Sam's that they need all your information right then.
Okay. So hard close versus cold calling. I mean, this is tough because I'm like I'm not a huge fan of either one. Um, I think if I was gonna, I think cold calling might have it because I think here's the thing is cold, like hard closes. I think you have the potential to burn bridges, right? With hard closes because all you're pushing for is the close, and like you can easily like upset people, turn people off, push people away in the process of doing that. With cold calling, you can leave people warm, right? To come back to, right? It's not necessarily that you're going to necessarily piss them off, right? But with hard closes, you have a very much like a higher likelihood that you're going to upset them and actually turn people against you, with that kind of methodology. So I personally, I think cold calling has it.
Tom, I'm going to agree with you. Hard closes, you may get the sell, but you're probably burning it up and never getting it again. So if I may, I'm going to go give us hard closes loses to cold calling. Cold calling. Okay, cold calling. We got bracketology here. Dr. Tachi, this is our business growth bracketology. So far, referrals have won over direct mail and cold calling one over hard closes. What do you think?
Hey, good morning. So I guess I need a better, not a better, but a definition of what hard close is, because I'm not really familiar with
Oh,
the
geez.
concept.
So I went over and well, this deal goes away. This deal goes away at 4 o'clock today. This deal goes away once I walk out of this room. I got three other people waiting on this same deal.
Ah,
Those are the kind of techniques, tactics that are sometimes used in a hard close.
okay. Well, they can be effective. The hard close, let's start with that. That can be effective. I'm like Tom, I'm not necessarily a fan of that type of thing because I think we've seen it so much and over again that it's like, oh, okay, isn't there something else? However, that's for the person that is discerning in that type of thing. The reason it still goes on is because it works for some people. And so I think it can be an effective, especially if you're not doing it just to, like, there actually is something behind that. It actually is going away, like the urgency, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. If there's actual value that is going to be had in that, I'm fine with it. It's not something I necessarily want to do, but I can see the effectiveness of that tactic because after all, you are in business to make money, and the FOMO does work when you're trying to generate revenue. As far as the cold calling, I can't stand cold calling. That doesn't mean it can't be effective for some people. I think that sales really has to be your thing for both of those types of things to work. And honestly, I think we should say for those of us in business, sales needs to be your thing, but there are some people who just really love the thrill of closing the deal or closing a sale. And so those types of things work for those personalities. I personally, I don't want to talk to people on the phone that I don't know anyway. So why would I want to call you and entice you? But it can be effective. Bottom line is yes, both can be effective. Are they something I necessarily want to do? No, but I know that aspects of them are going to be necessary in order to be successful in what I do. So that's what I have for you.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the spot, Dr. Tachi. You got to pick one to advance, right? Because that's what we're doing here. We're doing brackets, right? So this is March Madness in the room style. So you got to pick one: cold calling or hard closes. Which one wins? Which one advances to the next round?
Hard close.
Wow, we got a big upset here. I'm glad we had somebody weigh in. See, this is what I wanted. Hard close is winning. All right. Now, this is an exciting one. It's 2 versus 7. Video content versus email list. Tom, thoughts on this? This is tough for one. What do you
I mean, you know which one I'm going to pick, right? I mean, there's no question. There's no question which one is a better communication tool, right? Like, there's no question in my mind. And what is more versatile, right? An email list is like kind of a one-trick pony. Video content can do 101 things for you and for your brand and for your business. You can use it in a multitude of ways. You can use it across mediums. You can use it in email. You can use it outside of email. You can use it on your website. You can use for paid media, for ads. You can use for all kinds of things, right? Like so yeah. I mean, I think for its versatility and the efficacy of communications, to me, there's no question. Video content, is definitely going to beat email lists.
All right. So Tom, I'm gonna make a ruling on this because you said that video can be used in the email and you pointed out its versatility. I will give the two video content the win there. So video content takes the win over email list. Although email lists, they're good to have. So, okay, now this one, Dr. Tachi, you can weigh in on this one. This is a 3 versus 6, hard work versus get rich scheme. So anybody, we put this bracket up a couple places if you want to look, but otherwise I'll just read them. So Dr. Tachi, hard work versus get rich schemes. Do you have an upset pick for us? What do you got?
Now, you know good and hard, damn well, I'm going to say hard work because the operative thing you said there is scheme. I don't like anything that's a scheme. A scheme indicates that there's fraud involved, that it is fraudulent, and it will not work on its own merit. So, hard work for the win.
Hard work for the win. Tom, do you agree? Are you into schemes with your pick today, or are you hard work?
I'm sorry. Have you not heard me go off about bro marketing and the 5 steps to become, build a 7-figure business and all of that malarkey and nonsense and whatever else you want to call it? All of those schemes are nonsense. They're ridiculous. If it was that easy, everybody would be rich. Everybody would have a 7-figure business. It's not that easy. They are schemes, and for all of those reasons, it's got to be hard work. Absolutely.
All right, so hard work advances. So one side of our bracket is done now. We got referrals one, video content one, hard work one, and hard closes was our first upset. Hard closes beat cold calling. So now we got our next side of the bracket. It's personal branding versus writing a book, viral posts versus community building, strategic partnerships versus merch. 4 versus 5 is funnels versus paid ads. So I'm gonna do it. Tom, the 1 versus 8 is personal brand versus write a book. Tom, what say you?
So this is tough because they're like, I feel like, I think having a personal brand is because people want to know not just who they're doing business, like what the company values, but they want to know about the people behind the company, right? The people behind the name. And so having a personal brand, I think, matters, especially if you're in a leadership position at an organization, right? That's, I think that writing a book can be a really great way to help build a personal brand, right? And it does also lend credibility to you, right? Having a book, having a physical thing you've created that sits on a shelf that you can sell to people, that you can gift to people, that gives people an insight into you, who you are, what you stand for, what you represent, right? All of those kinds of things. I'm assuming we're talking nonfiction here. We're not talking about, writing a fantasy novel, because that's a whole different ball game that has nothing to do with it. But yeah, honestly, I think writing a book pulls an upset here because it can be a great tool to help build and reinforce a personal brand, but also can serve other purposes and help grow your business in other ways. Because I think it sort of can be foundational to building a personal brand and has other uses, the versatility, I think, puts it over the top. I think it's going to pull an upset.
Wow, and this was a trick question. I proposed this one as a trick question because, well, I'm a publisher of books and love the written word. I think a book is part of a personal brand, so I was going the other way, and I thought the upset might. So Dr. Tachi, me and Tom are split, and you're up on the stage here. So unless we get some voters, you have to roll on this. Number 8 versus number 1. This is a personal brand, a number 1 seed versus a number 8 seed writing a book. What do you think?
I agree with Tom that definitely writing a book can be a great asset to your personal brand. But I have to go with you, Dom, because in my opinion, writing a book is part of a personal brand because that could include making good video, that could include speaking, that could include a lot of different things. So I think the book is just one part of the personal brand. So the personal brand for me encompasses all of that. So I would go with personal brand.
Tom, March Madness is tough. 2 versus 1.
You guys don't like an underdog, huh? You don't like a Cinderella story? Come on.
Personal brand. We got somebody up. Let's keep. We're going to viral post. Next up is the viral post versus community building. So, is it better to create something that goes viral or build a community? Tom.
I think, again, I'm going to go with an upset here because viral posts come and go, right? Virality is fleeting. Community, right, is long lasting. And I think if you're talking about building a long lasting, sustainable brand or business, then community is going to prove much more valuable than a viral post, right, or an instance of virality, because as we all know, going viral is not something you can do predictably, right? You have no control over it. So at the end of the day, it's not something you should count on when it comes to building your business. I think community building is going to take the win here.
Tom, I'm just going with a straight agree on community building. My whole world revolves around community building. Business revolves around community building. And I have not we talked about this last week. I think I went viral like once where you're like hundreds of thousands of views on something real quick. And it was me making my slime with my daughter. It was unintended. It was a father-daughter time together inspirational, but it ended up being slime lovers and teenagers that like the thing. So I'm agreeing with you, Tom. So community building pulls an upset here. Building. Okay, we got two more in this round. Okay, Tom, you ready? Strategic partnerships versus merch.
I mean, this feels like a pretty straightforward one. I think strategic partnerships advances, right? At the end of the day, what's going to move the needle for your business, right? Strategic partnerships are going to bring in business, and merch, it's a nice to have, but like, how many clients do you have because you have a hat that has motivation champs on it, right? Because I'm pretty sure I don't have any clients because I have a hat that says Talix on it, right? So like, I'm just saying, merch is a nice to have, but like strategic partnerships, I have lots of clients because of strategic partnerships. They move the needle in business. They move forward without a question.
I'm down with that one. Although it is funny that me and Tom are both wearing hats with our company's names on them but then me and Tom working together as a strategic partnership. So interesting. So in a raging win there, Tom, we got partnership. So, and our last one before we go to Tom's thumbs here, what do we got? Our last one before we go to Tom's thumbs is funnels versus paid ads. This is a confusing one. So funnels better or paid ads better?
Yeah, this one is like a little bit of a coin toss for me, I think, right? I mean, I think funnels is going to edge it out, right? I think both can serve well. I think funnels better because a well-designed sales funnel will nurture a prospect through your sales process, right? Whereas a paid ad is kind of one touch kind of thing, right? So like even a good paid ad isn't going to nurture somebody through your sales process. I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're selling too. Like if it's a simple like consumer product, then paid ad might work better than funnel. But if a service like what I sell or what you do, then I think a funnel is definitely more appropriate. So I think it kind of depends. I think broadly speaking, funnel is more applicable and generally is going to work better in the long term. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Dr. Tachi, I'm going paid ads, so we need a ruling here because I got this vibe that when you say the word funnels that people think it's like clickbaity and stuff like that. So that's my connotation when I hear that word. So we need a ruling from Dr. Tachi on this. Which way we going? Funnels or paid ads, Dr. Tachi?
Understandable. I would say funnel because your paid ad could be top of funnel that draws people to that because it's about building community as well, right? You're trying to keep people or draw them through the funnel to your different offers. So funnel.
Wow, funnel it is. Okay, we're rolling here. We're rolling. There's more to this to come. But first, we are rolling to Tom's thumbs. We're going back to our roots. You ready for a Tom's thumb? This is when we ask our friend Tom, production expert and media expert, friend of mine, his thoughts, and he's got to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So, Tom, we're going back to our roots today because I'm drinking a homemade iced coffee today. And first, I'm showing it to Tom. You can see it in there. First, I didn't have enough sugar in it and like enough creamer or something. And I came down to my office and I was like, blah, what is that? So, Tom, now that we've been friends for years, a thumbs up or a thumbs down to a well-made iced coffee?
I mean, look, so it's so subjective, right? To me, a well-made iced coffee is properly brewed coffee that's not overly bitter and like a little bit of milk, and that's it, right? Like to me, that is a well-made iced coffee. I think iced coffee, broadly speaking, I think first of all, in order to qualify as an iced coffee, the predominant flavor has to be coffee, right? The predominant flavor cannot be something else with like a little bit of coffee in the background. So that's number one. If your iced coffee doesn't taste predominantly of coffee, it's not iced coffee, right? It is another iced beverage, some other kind of beverage that has coffee in it, but it is not an iced coffee, right? So I think that's number one. If we're gonna talk about iced coffees, we got to define it. And in my mind, coffee has to be the predominant flavor. So if you're talking about a well-made iced coffee that tastes predominantly of coffee, even if it's sweetened, like that's fine. It's not my bag, right? Like that's not the way I like my coffee. But I get different strokes for different folks. If you want to sweeten your coffee, that's fine, so long as it tastes like coffee. I like coffee ice cream. Still tastes like coffee. It's sweet, right? It's creamy. I'm good with it, right? So I think at the end of the day, as long as the predominant flavor is coffee, and iced coffee definitely gets a thumbs up.
Wow, who knew a thumb? So how I heard this, Tom, is a thumbs up for iced coffee. So I'm glad that this friendship we had you're what do you call it? You're like a Renaissance man these days.
But again, coffee has to be the predominant flavor. It cannot be a secondary flavor, right? Vanilla first with a little bit of coffee in the background, or like chocolate first, a little bit of background. It has to be coffee forward, right? Or else it doesn't count as coffee. If you make a nice coffee and it tastes like hot chocolate with a little bit of coffee in it, you did it wrong, and that gets a thumbs down.
Well, you hear what you hear, I hear what I hear. So we're all positive for iced coffee. I might make some clips of that where you're really talking about iced coffee and how good it is. Okay, we're talking about business growth here. We got bracketology going on today. Business growth, March Madness style, not the smartest guys in the room. Our round two matchups here. We got referrals versus video content, hard work versus hard closes, personal brand versus community building, and my writing is so bad, strategic partnerships versus funnels. So let's roll to the bottom of the bracket, strategic partnerships versus funnels. Tom, which one wins?
I mean, again, I kind of feel like this is a bit of a no-brainer, right? Like strategic partnerships, I think, take the win, especially in my business, right? In a service-based business, strategic partnerships can open so many doors, directly to the people that you need to talk to in order to grow your business, in order to build your brand. So yeah, I mean, without question, strategic partnerships, I think, are the way to go.
Well, here's how we roll here. Since I didn't like funnels in the first place and you guys advanced it to the next round, I'm picking strategic partnerships here as well. So, strategic partnerships for the win. Okay, in the same bracket, this is a tough one. Uh-oh, I'm confused here. We have a number one seed, personal branding, versus a number seven seed, community building. So, Tom?
So I think community building pulls an upset, right? Like I think it's down to the buzzer, but I think they drain a three, right? As the time expires, as the buzzer goes, and yeah, I mean, I think community building takes it because again, like yes, personal brand is important, but in terms of business growth, if you have a strong community around your brand, I think that that is going to be much more useful in growing your business than having a strong personal brand. So like personal brand you can work on over time, but like if you've got a strong community, you're going to grow your business. So I think it pulls the upset. I think they're draining a three at the buzzer.
Tom, well said. And we did not pre plan the results of what was going to happen here. So I agree with you on community building, even though I put personal brand as the number one seed, but it for anything to be bigger than ourselves, I think it grows larger. But we need Dr. Tachi to check on this since it could be such a big upset. So, Dr. Tachi, you mind weighing in? Personal brand or community building? Are me and Tom crazy, or is community more important?
Community is more important. You don't have a brand without community.
Wow. Okay. So there we go. Community building takes that bracket. There we go. So that's going to be community building versus strategic partners. Now we're rolling to the other side here, Tom. So this is trouble. Referrals versus video content. So Tom, weigh in on that.
I mean, obviously, you know where I'm going to go, but I've got a good reason for it. It's not just bias, although I'm sure bias plays into it because you can never discount it, right? I'm going to take video content, and I'm going to take video content for its versatility, and because well done video content, specifically a legendaring strategy, right, can help you build referrals. Right. So like if you can use video to generate referrals and to build referral relationships with your audience, then I think it's more valuable than just referrals because it can do other work for you. It can help, lead people to top of funnel communications that puts people into your sales process and into your pipeline, et cetera. So like, I think for that, because it can generate both of those for its versatility, I think video content's got to take it.
Okay, as my dad sometimes says to me when I am telling him things, he goes and makes a noise with his mouth like a little baby because he disagrees with me. So I am disagreeing with Tom, and I am saying referrals, that you do good work for people, you step up, you're there when they need you, you under promise and over deliver, and they give you a nice referral. I'm going that way. So this means we are split, and it's a good thing Dr. Tachi is up on the stage today. So, Dr. Tachi, video content or referrals? What's your choice?
I'm going to go with video content, but I kind of think this is a little biased because that's what I do. That's what Tom does. So obviously, the sanctity of our video content is going to lead to other referrals. So I'm going with video content, but with that caveat.
Okay, I feel tricked. I should have brought like 3 more people on stage to see. But
Bias for the win.
Video content takes over the #1 seed for the win. Okay, so now this is hard. Our next one in this bracket is hard work versus hard closes. So,
I mean, I think like this is easy, right? We don't even have to say that much about it. I think no question, hard work wins, right? Hard work over time is going to be like anything like cold calling or hard closes. Like if you put in the work over time, you're going to come out on front, especially against something with like false scarcity, and pressure techniques and things like that come with hard closes. I think hard work wins. Like, I don't even think it's really a debate. I think it's a blowout.
well, I agree with you both, but I want to let you know that it was you and Dr. Tachi that next round in the first place. So I'm going back. I'm agreeing with you that hard work, you keep pushing inch by inch and you get there. So inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard, which means, Tom, it's time for, hold on. So we got our final 4. It's video content, hard work, community building, strategic partnerships. But before we do all that, are you ready for a PSA?
Sure, but you could go first this week because I genuinely am not sure we're gonna. I put so much pressure on myself to come up with something funny after my truck nuts PSA last week that I couldn't come up with anything. It's one of those things. It's like when you put a lot of pressure on yourself, or like somebody asks you what's your favorite of something. I always just go blank. They're like, "What's your favorite movie?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't even know if I've seen a movie. I'm not sure I could name a movie right now." Like that's what happens whenever somebody asks me that. And so like kind of similar thing. I had the Truck Nuts PSA last week that was apparently funny enough that I got like a random email from a stranger about it, which was amusing. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about yet. So anyway, but I'm happy to come up with something. We can go through yours first, and then we'll roll it. I'll come up with something.
Okay, you're the man, Tom, and I will go on. with my PSA today, inspired by my dear friend Jimmy here. Jim had mentioned in a Facebook post to reach out to your friends. Reach out to your friends. You never know if they might be hurting or what they have going on. So my PSA today is reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to coworkers and just say, how you doing? Send them a text, call them, pick up the phone, wish them some hope, let them know that you are there for them, let them know that they are not alone. So we get so busy in life that sometimes we forget, and sometimes we forget to do that. And sometimes we forget that those people that are smiling or the people that look the toughest or think they have it all put together, they could be the ones hurting the most. So my PSA for today is reach out to your friends, family, and those you love. Thank you, Tom.
All
So
right. Well,
that's
since you took it high, I'm gonna go low, and bring us back down to earth a little bit. I mean, that was a great PSA. Don't get me wrong, but I have to be a little bit more crass with mine. So here we go. I've seen posts recently. I've seen a couple in the last few days online of people saying like, "Hey, when you're in traffic, if somebody cuts you off, or if somebody is speeding past you, or something like that, or driving like a little bit of a jerk, like cut them some slack. You don't know what other people are going through. Basically, like the idea is like cut people some slack. You don't know what they're going through, and I get that, right? I totally agree with that. And here's my recommendation: instead of flipping them the bird, right? We all know what that means, right? Giving them the middle finger, the one finger salute, so to speak. Instead of doing that, a really satisfying thing to do is to give them a sarcastic thumbs up, right? When somebody does something stupid, they cut you off, right? They tailgate you, something like that. Instead of giving them the old one finger, give them a sarcastic thumbs up. Give them a thumbs up and a big grin at the same time, like, good job, buddy. It's way more satisfying. And also, you don't have to worry about anybody getting into a road rage incident with you if you give them a thumbs up. So just my little PSA for everybody today. The sarcastic thumbs up is, man, is it satisfying when you get it.
that's a good one, Tom. About a year ago, I had some guy yelling out of his car at me and calling me names, and I was getting so angry. I should have rolled thumbs up, but I didn't. I said mean things, and I thought about getting out of my car. I was in my seatbelt, and I started to like whine, like try to get out of my car because I'm just like, that's it, I'm going over. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, I don't really care about this guy, and I just sat there.
My favorite thing about the sarcastic thumbs up is that when somebody is being a jerk and like inevitably like they're in a bad mood, right? Like that guy who was yelling at you was in a bad mood, probably had nothing to do with you. It makes them madder, right? It makes them more upset when you give them a thumbs up instead of giving them the bird, because they expect you to like yell back at them. They want you to engage on that level. And when you don't, it makes them more angry, and it's really funny. So yeah. So for anybody driving around today, if you encounter someone who curses you out or yells at you or cuts you off or does something stupid, give them the thumbs up, man. It'll piss them off and it'll make you feel great.
Tom, I accept that from you, except I got to point, you don't want to get beat up when somebody freaks out. There's some knucklehead. There's a lot of knuckleheads in the world today. That thumbs up might go in your eye when they jump in your car.
It's safer than giving them the bird, though. I think it's a
Okay.
safer move.
Okay, well done, well done. Okay, we're down to our final four here, Tom. Final four: video content versus hard work, and it is community building versus strategic partnerships. So I need like more voters here because I am concerned how this is going to go. So first of the final four is video content versus hard work. Tom, where do you land on this?
I mean, here I think this is where we start to like get into some real difficulty here, because it depends on like how you define both, right? I mean, look, like good video content requires hard work, right? So maybe you want to say hard work. But hard work for the sake of hard work doesn't really get you anywhere. It has to be focused, right? It has to be moving you forward, moving you in a positive direction. So, it's tough, but I will say that because I think everything starts with sort of dedication and putting in the work, right? Including creating good video content and good communications. I think hard work has to take it. And that's painful for me to say as somebody who has spent their entire career working very hard to create good video content in various forms and for various mediums. Yeah, I think hard work has to take it.
Tom, what if I go video content here? I agree with you. The hard work is the basis of many of these things. So great to produce great video content, you needed to educate yourself. You needed to work hard for years. You needed to put the hours in with messaging, with development, with understanding cameras and all those things. So I'm going hard work, Tom, and that puts hard work as a number 3 seed into our finals. Hard work, just verify, Dr. Tachi, you good with hard work, or are you going to fight for video content again, even though you're outnumbered here? Go on.
Yeah, thanks. No, I shall not be fighting for video content. I agree with hard work.
Okay, and we got a comment from Jim Ajay. He says hard work all day. So there we go. Hard work kind of kicked butt on that one. Okay, so now in our other bracket, this one, I think they call that, I don't know if that's finals or the other bracket. We have community building versus strategic partnerships. Man, this is we're splitting atoms here. Hairs. Go on, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, so this is semifinals, right? Semifinal round. So yeah, I mean, man, strategic partnerships versus community building. I think for long-term business growth, right? I think community building comes first. I'm just trying to think of in terms of order of operations, right? Which is kind of what I applied to the other side, the other semifinal matchup, right? Which was hard work comes first, right? Video content flows from that hard work. I think similarly, community building kind of comes first. And strategic partnerships can flow from that community building, but you have to lay the foundation, right? And I think the community building is the foundation that can lead to strategic partnerships. But without that sort of community, and that community can include, it's not just on the consumer side, right? That community can include strategic partners. I think as a base, community building comes first in order of operations. And so I think it's got to take the win.
Tom, fair points. That is a tough one. And like we said, we didn't know how this was going to come down. I'm a big community builder. I believe in strategic partnerships as well. I don't know that all businesses, we're talking about business growth, I don't know that all businesses rely on strategic partnerships unless you're talking about, I think all businesses do involve community building, meaning you have to have clients that believe in you, which is your community. So I'm going community building as well. Is that a clear clarification, Tom? Looked like you wanted to ask something.
No. I think you're right. I agree with what you're saying. I think we're on the same page.
Okay, so Dr. Tachi, I'm checking that one in. So now we have community building versus hard work. We did not plan it this way. So Tom, weigh in, community building versus hard work. What do you got?
Again,
finals.
What's that?
So this is the finals, the championship.
This is for all the beans? What's the saying? All the marbles? All the something?
Cocoa beans. What's in it? What's coffee? Is a coffee bean called a coffee bean? Or is
Yeah.
it something?
No, it's a coffee bean. Coffee makes coffee. Coffee beans make the drink coffee.
Well, cocoa bean makes chocolate, so I'm just saying, I wondered if there was a more scientific name for it. That's all I was asking.
I mean, there definitely is a scientific name for the coffee plant, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. So don't try to weasel out of picking between hard work and community building. And no, video content got pushed out. And so where are you going here?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to stick with it. You know, I'm not going to throw a tantrum and storm off because video content didn't make it to the finals. Although I wanted it to, I wanted it to. But look, at the end of the day, I think, you know, the better team, so to speak, has to win here. And I think, you know, going with my default, which was order of operations, what comes first, what stems from what, you have to put in hard work to build a community, right? There is no community if you don't put in the hard work of building that community. And so it just makes sense to me that hard work has to be the winner here, right? It has to be sort of the most important. I think everything stems from hard work. If you want to build a business, at the end of the day, hard work is really the key ingredient that you cannot do it without. But you could do it without paid ads. You could do it without get rich quick schemes or hard closes, right? Or direct mail or writing a book or viral posts, right? But I don't think you can do it without hard work. So at the end of the day, it's got to be hard work for the win.
Tom, cogent argument for hard work. Well done. It's interesting because I wonder, in community building, can you scale what the hard work has done because other people are doing work for you at that point, and maybe your community's referring, maybe your community's ravenous about you. I'm not going to go that way. I'm not going to give you that kind of cliffhanger. I agree with you that nothing is possible without hard work. So unless you put in the time, unless you put in the hours. Now, you can put in hard work. You could put in hard work and not do any of these other, I see what, 14 other realistic things that a business could do. If you just work hard and do none of these other things, probably not going to be successful. If you work hard and do these other 14 or so things, then you're going to be successful. So I agree with you, Thomas, that hard work takes the championship here. We should, Dr. Tachi, just in case you can't vote on video again at this point, but are we seeing things correctly?
Yes, definitely hard work. But then, you know, it's getting down to what we mean by hard work. Hard work. Maybe smart work is better. But yes, I'll go with hard work.
And Jim Ajay voted down before in the comments, hard work. So Tom, in our bracket today, that went our business growth, our first ever March Madness bracket that you allowed me to do. And you played along well, all that contributed. Thank you. We got our winner is hard work, Tom. So thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it made sense. I think it makes a ton of sense. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Dr. had a good point, right? Hard work, to be clear, I know what I mean by hard work, and I don't necessarily mean the grind stuff, right? Like the grind work, right? You got to grind, you know, 20 hours a day, blah blah blah. Like no, that's not what hard work means, right? Hard work means that you're working smart, that you are dedicated, that you are focused, that you are committed, right? It does not necessarily mean that you're working 20 hours a day, right? Like take time out of it. You know, at the end of the day, hard work is about results and about consistency over time. It's not necessarily about grinding, right? Stop this whole grind culture, because you can work hard, right? You can do hard work, and then you can also make time to have a good life around it, right? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Like, it makes me think of this. There was this viral post that went around, and I think it went viral because so many people made fun of it. But it was one of these grind guys who was like talking about how, you know, he fits like 3 days worth of work into each day or whatever. Do you remember that post where he was like, oh, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then I do like an hour of meditation and then I do this and then I do that and then I like work out with my wife and then, and like my first day is done by by like 10 a.m. and then I go to my work and like, and just, so he's like, and then, so I've worked 3 days to everybody else fun. And it's like, no, you haven't, man. That's not how time works. That doesn't even make sense. And also you're just filling your time with stuff, right? Having more stuff on your calendar doesn't mean you're necessarily working harder. So I think that's a point really well made, that hard work does not necessarily and is not necessarily synonymous with spending insane amounts of time working on your business, right? And to your point, I think community can be a great multiplier for hard work. So if you're going to put in hard work, I think maybe an early place to put in hard work is in focused efforts on growing a community around your brand, because that can be a hard work multiplier for you, right? It can be a force multiplier for your brand, and it can lead to a lot of opportunities. So maybe focus your efforts there first, which means that you maybe have to dedicate less time down the line. And maybe that gives you the opportunity to have a better, more fulfilled life all around, rather than just grinding at your desk for 14 hours a day because some knucklehead on the internet told you that you had to do it that way.
Yeah. Well said, Tom. I remember when I had a restaurant, number one, the restaurant's open from 11 to 10. You go in a couple hours before, you stay later. So now you're already at like 15-hour days. What's that? 15 hours. Then on the weekend, if I was out of product, I'd drive down to Pittsburgh and pick up stuff at the fish market or the restaurant depot or something like that. And then as business started to go bad, I worked more hours. And then I got a paper route. Then I got a job refereeing. Then I stayed open later at night, just trying to catch one more customer. And I was working harder, but I was losing more money. It didn't matter at that point. Refereeing basketball games or getting a job at the olive store, which I did, or the paper route, 300 papers on Sunday, 200 during the week. That didn't just make me successful, right? The business structure was wrong. So hard work didn't solve the problem. Maybe it got me another month or something, but there weren't, at some point when you're going just hard work, back then, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I thought that was the only answer. And I work harder, work longer, and I still failed. And I still lost $500,000. So I learned, like we talked about today, work hard, and then you need these other things as well.
Can I just ask a quick question? Did you say get a job at the Olive?
Yeah, I got a job at the olive store. I worked there at the cheese and olive store. I only worked there like 2 days, but I'll take you on that memory. There was no memory lane. I'll save that memory lane for next week, Tom. For now, will you take us home on our big business growth March Madness style bracketology, not the smartest guys in the room episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just, you said the Olive Store, and I was like, is that some weird, like, Pennsylvania knockoff of the Apple Store or something? Like, yeah, I never heard of the Olive Store. Is that what it's called, or or is that just what you call it?
All right. You trying to get into this? I was trying
No,
to get
I just, you don't have to go through the whole thing. I just want to know, is that what you call it, or is that what it was actually called?
It is a Pennsylvania Italian market that is now global, and they are the number one importer in the United States of olives. So they have all these other Italian things, but they also have a 50 jugs when you go in there with olives in them. So that's why I reference it as the olive store.
Okay, but it's not called the Olive Store.
No, it's not the olive store.
Oh, okay. You said you dropped the Olive Store like that was a normal thing. And I was like, hold on, pump the brakes, buddy. Like the Olive Store, that's not something that everybody has. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, here's what I would say. We'll get into, maybe next week we'll talk. Maybe next week the memory lane can be the Olive Store, and your 2 days of experience working there. But for today, just going to wrap this up really quickly. Look, I think one, this was a lot of fun. But I think two, it was a really great way to talk through what are some of the most important things to focus on as you're building your brand, your business, right? Obviously, I think across the board, we all pretty much agree that hard work, i.e. smart work, dedication, and consistency and consistent effort over time, right? It really is the sort of basis of everything, but then you have to sort of focus your energy in constructive ways in order to grow your brand, your business over time. You know, I'm just glad video content made it to the semifinals. That's you know, I'm happy for that, and I'm glad that it made it that far. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, man, you gotta put in the work, and I think, you know, no matter what you do, the tortoise always beats the hare, right? So like, you know, work beats talent every single day of the week, every time. And if you take nothing away from this, I think that is the one lesson I want to leave you with. That's all I got for today. That's all we got for this week on this special edition of March Madness on Not the Smartest Guys in the Room. For Dom, I'm Tom. Appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We thank you for being here with us every week, and we will see you next week. Until then, have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. We love you. Bye-bye.